Welcome everyone into Indianola Stadium as the Iowa Phoenix taking on the Oklahoma Rage. It is week 8 of the WFA season, and what a game we have in store for today. The 4-1 Iowa Phoenix taking on the undefeated Oklahoma Rage here at home of the Indianola Indians, as we are set to get underway here on the field. Phoenix coming in off a big win on Saturday last week on the road against the Cedar Raptors. They return home after back-to-back wins on the road against the Minx and the Raptors. This one will go out of bounds, and the Raptors will get great field position. Excuse me, the Rage will get great starting field position. And the Rage, led by a stellar defense, the number 2 scoring defense in all of Division III. But that is not to take anything away from their offense. Led by Courtney Eldridge, this team beat the Phoenix in their last matchup last season down in Oklahoma, and now look to get another win here on the road. The number 1 quarterback in terms of yardage here in the country, 932 yards, 9 touchdowns, compared to just 2 interceptions.
Yeah, strong Rage team. It's definitely going to be a real challenge for the Phoenix.
First carry is going to go to Shavonna Rucker as we are officially underway on the field. Carry goes for about 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, one thing I want to, step back, and you talk about the strength of the Rage, but I mean that was last year, and the Phoenix are a much better team this year. We're seeing a lot of offense out of them. Good, strong team.
They'll go in the shotgun. This one will be a shovel pass out to the right side. They get it to Rucker again. She'll be spun down right around the 48-yard line, and that will bring up 3rd and about 4 as they need to get to the Phoenix 44 to convert.
Yeah, good one-on-one stop by Kushner. Not there left alone. And she brought her down, kept her from getting extra yardage. I got to cut mine back.
2 receivers split out on the left side. One of the best passing offenses in the country. They'll keep it to Rucker again. Big hole on the left side. She'll have the first down and more. And finally brought down. It is a huge gain on the play down to the Phoenix 37-yard line.
Yeah, that takes care of first down right there.
Crystal Peterson on the stop. So it'll be 1st and 10, officially up to the 36.
I feel like it's going to take a few for the Phoenix to settle in, as they know the threat that's there, and so they got to be careful for the pass. Meanwhile, they're going to run the ball at them, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge.
This one sent out to Rucker and hit.
Oh, nice.
As
nice.
Turner and Bush there on the stop. It is a loss of 3 back to the 39.
Megan has been really good at stopping plays right at the line. She's had a few of those this year. Looks like we've got a Rage player. Oh, getting up. Okay, a little slow getting up. But it's interesting, that toss, the way they toss it out there.
Rucker will come off the field. Interesting, we have not seen Keyshawn Simmons, one of the top rushers in the entire country as well, just behind Crystal Peterson, as she is 8th in Division III with 360 yards and a pair of touchdowns. As looks like they're going to be going running back by committee, as there's going to be delay of game called. So see if that negates this offense any extra, as that'll back them up an extra 5 yards.
It's probably the slow getting up off the ground.
That'll make it 2nd and 18 now, back at the Phoenix 44. Shotgun formation. This time, Eldridge will drop back, looking over the side, has a receiver. It is caught there by Bledsoe, and she's going to pick up all those needed yards.
Yep, should get a first out of that.
Gets all the way up to the Phoenix 26-yard line. Gain of 18 on the play to move the chains.
Really nice pass, good hands. You can see why they're ranked quite high.
Bledsoe, number 2 with 373 yards and 3 touchdowns on 23 receptions, one of the top receiving threats in the country. This is a matchup of 2 of the best passing teams in terms of Division III. 6 of the top 10 receivers are out there on these 2 offenses.
Yeah, let's hope we get to see a lot of that.
Handoff to the left side, still not Simmons. This is a handoff to Caitlin Stevens. It'll be a gain of, looks like 3 up to the 22. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Is Simmons on the sideline? We don't know if she got hurt or anything like that. Looking at the sideline, I don't see her. It'd be interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll watch for her. See if she pops up.
Eldridge looking for Bledsoe again, open in the end zone, and that's going to be an early touchdown for the Rage. 10:31 left in the first quarter.
They had good coverage on her, and then they let her go, and she got a couple yards behind the defense.
Bledsoe listed as a tight end and has had a remarkable season. That is her 4th touchdown on the year. And they will bring Nicole Ingram out for, or excuse me, that is Lacey Womer.
I was going to say, they switched balls, so they're going to kick it.
Fumble on the snap. Womer going to drop back, delivers a pass over. It'll be intercepted. And the 2-point conversion is no good.
That helps a little bit. We'll see how much it helps.
So the Rage leads 6-0, 10:31 left here in the first. Want to thank everyone from both the Rage and Phoenix fan bases tuning in for today's game. It is the regular season finale here for the Iowa Phoenix. Don't know for sure yet what the playoffs will hold in store for both Iowa and the Rage. If the Rage win, I would assume going undefeated would put them in, and the Phoenix, a 5-1 record, would put them in a great spot, especially if they are able to end that perfect year for the Rage.
Yeah, that should help them a whole bunch. We're going to have to wait till tomorrow to know the impacts, because of all the games that are being played could have differences. Oh, quick kick.
Womer will get this one on the ground. Turner will fall on it, and the Phoenix will get pretty good starting field position right around their own 45.
How is that not illegal procedure? They weren't lined up, and they weren't across the line. But they...
No penalty flag is thrown.
No, must be a gray zone in the rules.
So that'll bring out Grace Francis, Crystal Peterson, and the Phoenix offense. A record-setting offense. Grace Francis already setting franchise records in touchdowns and yards this year. Crystal Peterson, 1 touchdown away from breaking her own record and has already broken her own yardage record that she set back in 2023. Over 700 yards this year, as they're going to look to take the top off the defense for Fisk. It is overthrown as Fisk would have had an opportunity to go the distance on that one. Takes 8 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, she's fast, but not quite that fast.
Fisk had a huge game last week with 4 touchdown catches and a big win on the road over the Cedar Raptors. Oklahoma going to have to keep an eye on her, and it looks like there is a penalty flag that is thrown.
Illegal man downfield. Lineman downfield. That was a quick throw. I don't know. Anyway.
Someone may have just lined up illegally.
Yeah, but a throwback to, you were talking at the start of the game, the Eldridge is ranked number 1, but Grace Francis is ranked number 2 in Division III in the country.
They'll pitch this one out to the number 1 rusher in the country. Crystal Peterson will pick up about 4 yards on first down.
That's good. Pick up a few.
That'll bring up 2nd and 11. First carry of the game for the two-time All-American, likely headed for a third here this season.
Oh, with her numbers, I would hope so.
Third straight year with over 600 yards on the ground.
Yeah, she's the workhorse for him. She runs it a lot. She gets them yards.
Francis and Eldridge looking to go over the 1,000-yard marker in this game passing-wise. As Francis will pitch this one out on the right side. Defense reads it great.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a loss of 5 back to the 39.
Yeah, they close that corner. That's a tough thing. Tell you what, I was watching Fisk at the bottom of the field, and she had one-on-one coverage. And she's got height on that person. A quick throw out there might give her an advantage. Especially right here where it's short field. Well, they're putting Fisk up top now. At third down, you got to get some yardage back here.
Third and 15 back at the 40. And that's going to draw some flags and back him up even further.
They are going to take it against the offense, though. See, and defense jumped. I don't like that call.
Rage this year dominant on both sides of the ball. The number 2 scoring defense allowed just 6 points in 5 games this year, but also averaging almost 35 per contest on the other side.
Oh yeah, they're good, strong team. They've definitely proven it. They've got the offensive numbers to show.
So third and 20, Francis.
There it is.
Has Mikulek wide open,
far.
and I think Mikulek kind of...
She pulled up, but the ball was out of bounds. She's got to keep it in bounds.
So that will fall incomplete. Offense stays out there, but I would expect this will be a punt with 8:22 left in the first. 4th and 20 here.
I don't know. Sometimes they kind of midfield, try to go for it, but I don't think you want to give the Rage too much advantage.
Can't waste a possession here, it appears, as they are going to keep Francis and the offense out there. 4th and 20, 8:22 left in the first quarter. Shotgun trips to left side. They'll set it up for Fisk, and the pass is immediately going to be dropped, and that will be a turnover on downs. And great field position here for the Rage.
Yeah, for what the Rage pulled off in their first possession, you got to be careful with those.
First carry went for 4 yards for Crystal Peterson, but then a loss of 4 on the next play. Back-to-back penalties as well have set up now 4th and 20. And now 1st and 10 going the other way after the turnover on downs, and that will bring Eldridge right back out, fresh off her 10th passing touchdown of the season. And if Phoenix going to call a timeout, we will take a short break and be right back. You're watching Iowa Phoenix football here on Pardon My French Media. First and 10 here for the Rage, coming from the opposing 35-yard line. Phoenix defense looking to try and get a stop. This will be an end around on the carry. It is given off for Sorensen, and she will have a big play here on first down and will move the chains. Christensen in on the stop for the Phoenix, as they have struggled to stop this offense here early on.
They faked the end around and threw the pass, and Moran caught it and got the yardage, but got the first down out of it.
So 1st and 10 now, down to the 24. Hand this one off for Rucker again. Big hole out to the right side, and the offense continues to chew up yards as that one goes for 9.
They're waving for training staff.
They'll stop the clock with 7:17 left in the quarter.
She's up.
Oh. So they will continue the roll on.
Good. Okay. Don't want anyone hurt.
Rucker came in today averaging just 2.9 yards a carry, but she has been trucking through this defense so far. She'll be the lone back here. 3 receivers out to left side, 1 split out wide right. Eldridge, 17 total touchdowns on the season, going to set this one up and completes it out to Bledsoe again. 3rd catch of the game for Bledsoe. This one is going to be
power.
a 1st and 10 inside of the 10.
Well, she did some power running there.
1st and goal coming up from the 7.
Now that short field is coming to haunt Phoenix.
Takes just 3 plays to get into the red zone now inside of the 10-yard line. 1st and goal here for the Rage, looking to make it at least a 12-0 game. 2 receivers out wide right. As Womer, the far one on the far side. Hand off to Rucker,
Right.
Hull up the middle. That'll be a gain of about 4 down to the 3. Young on the stop. As Womer and Sorensen will come off the field on this play. They really like to spread the wealth. Rose, Bledsoe, Sorensen, all with over 15 catches this year. This time it'll be a direct snap. Eldridge will take it to the far side, and she is into the end zone. 8th touchdown rush of the year. That makes it 12-0 with 5:17 left here in the quarter. Eldridge now tied for the national lead in rushing touchdowns this season. And on the 2-point attempt, it'll be blown up in the backfield. Larissa Mikulek on the stop for the Phoenix. So 12-0 here. And the Phoenix will desperately need an answer after turning it over on downs deep inside their own territory.
Yeah, they're going to have to kind of regroup and figure out what might work for them. You got a tough defense you're facing, and they've already proven that they can shut down Peterson on the outside.
Yeah, one of the things that always seems to work for Crystal is that speed on the outside, but this defense flying around the Rage came in ready for those end around and pitch plays.
Yeah, what's tough with that, now let's watch, now the Rage will line up.
I think the reason it is not a violation is because the ref has already signaled it's up to the team to set themselves. As Womer will get a good kick away. It'll be over the head of Mikulek, and it will go out of bounds. So the Phoenix will get better field position. Couple of incomplete passes for Grace Francis on the first possession. 2 rushes as well for Crystal Peterson that went for net 0 yards. Offense was on fire in the second half last week as Francis threw 4 touchdown passes to Kira Fisk, but this is a very different defense.
That's right. Yeah, they had the Raptors' number in 2 games. They had the power over them. But, yeah, this is a whole different team in here.
It'll be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line for the Phoenix. Mikulek and Christensen come over to the near side. Christensen one big game away from breaking the franchise receiving record as this one thrown over the top and falls incomplete. Looking for Christensen on that play. That is where the Phoenix have really struggled, is this intermediate to short passing game.
Yeah, you couldn't tell if Grace overthrew Christensen or underthrew, who was the other one?
Mikulek.
Yeah.
Second and 10 coming up from the 35. Phoenix no yards on the game so far on their second possession. Francis will drop back. This ball thrown to the outside, looking for Peterson, and another one knocked away.
I think the arm got hit or something because that ball went kind of straight up.
Christensen tried to make a play on it, but the defense too strong there, knocks it away. Some of the players to know on this defense, led by Khalil Berryhill, the safety second in the country in tackles. Rachel Stinson, second interceptions, and Jasmine Crisp, also top 10 in tackles this season. So 3 names that have really helped this defense be one of the best in the WFA Division III. This one completed out, caught by Fisk, and she'll be dropped behind the line for a loss of 1.
Defense was right on her.
First catch of the game and first completed pass overall for the Phoenix. And that is going to bring up 4th and 11. Francis and the offense stays out there. No one back deep to return, so they were assuming the Phoenix offense going to fully run a play here. 4th and 11. Francis dropping back under pressure. Over the front has Shannon Christensen, and that is going to be a first down and more.
Now there's the passes we like to see.
That goes for a gain of 21.
Hit her on the run, hit her in the hands.
Phoenix needed that after 2 almost full possessions going a net negative 1 yard. They move the chains into enemy territory as they have the offense that can keep with some of the best teams in the country, and they need to be able to show it. It's been all passing on this possession.
Just got to get that accurate passing.
This one thrown out to Fisk. Good blocking out in front of her. She'll pick up 10 and pushed out of bounds. Should be enough for another first down. And they will mark it.
That was really good. They were working together on that. Francis was guiding her.
Everything's starting to click a little bit now for Iowa. First and 10 now from the Rage 39-yard line. 3 straight completions now for Francis. See if they look to go back to the run game. 3 receivers out here on the near side. Francis will drop back again. Completed over, and good read on this play. It is knocked down. Stops the clock. Dominique Jones on the pass breakup for the Rage.
Yeah, defense was on that one.
That'll be 2nd and 10 now. Good change up by the Rage defense. Head coach Brandon Webb has this team in a great spot to advance to the 2024 playoffs. Phoenix playing from behind, trailing 12-0 here late in the first quarter. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. They go back to the air. Francis completes it out to Tiffany's shot, and it's going to be a loss on the play. Back to the 42. They'll mark it all the way back to the 40. Nope, they will give her forward momentum. So loss of 3 officially on the play.
Yeah, defense jumped that one real quick.
They'll have to call something new now with this short passing game, setting up these wide receiver screens now getting blown up. One almost intercepted, and now a play that goes backwards. 3rd and 13 from the 42-yard line. In the middle, complete to Christensen. She'll be spun down for a short gain. Picks up 5. Second catch of the day. It'll be 4th and 8 now, as the Phoenix look to try and move the chains and pick up their third first down of the drive.
Let's see what they got up their sleeve.
I would expect to see something coming across the middle for either Kira or Shannon. Francis. A wheel route here for Fisk, and it is dropped. A little underthrown, but Fisk needed to catch that one. Clock stops with 1:40, and that will be a turnover on downs. Phoenix needed that one.
Yeah, they did. That was good offensive.
As Francis helped off a little bit after getting to the sideline, took a big shot at the end.
Watching her. She's hurting.
And that's not a big loss just on the offensive end. One of their better defensive players coming from that linebacker or defensive tackle spot. So the Rage offense comes back out. Eldridge, a pair of touchdowns so far for Oklahoma. They take over at their own 37-yard line. They'll send Bledsoe in motion. Play action pass, looking over the top, and just overthrown. Went off the fingertips of Sarah Rose on that attempt.
That's a good play. Nice fake. Kind of frees your defense. You got a one-on-one out there.
And if Rose is able to haul that one in, she's probably gone.
She was gone.
She had outrun Kushner. Francis sidelined with an injury, so Kira Fisk has been the de facto backup at times this year. Wide receiver screen, this time set up for Rose, cuts back into the middle. She's going to be dropped by Tia Wasty, but it's going to be a gain of 8 to set up 3rd and short. 1:20 left here in the first quarter. It has been all Rage outside of a couple of good plays for Iowa. 3rd and 2, there's a lot the Rage can do here. Bledsoe and Rose, the top 2 targets, split out to the right side. This one blown up in the backfield, but Eldridge on the option play kept it for herself, and she'll have the first down.
I didn't even see that. I just saw it get blown up.
A great dual threat quarterback is number 3, Courtney Eldridge. As we go under 35 seconds left here in the first quarter.
And you can see why they're a strong offensive team. They run a pretty complicated offense.
Trips to the left here. Shotgun formation. Eldridge. Fake the pitch. Able to complete this one over for Moran. It'll be a short gain of just 1. The defense able to recover to the ball quickly. And that should be the final play here in the first quarter. A fast-moving first quarter.
I'm sure now they need some hydration. It is warm out there. Right now it's showing 86 degrees outside.
We're open. Francis is all right for the Phoenix. We'll take a short break for the quarter break as the teams flip the field, and we will be right back. Second and 9 here as we begin play in the second quarter. Courtney Eldridge having herself a game here early on. Looking across the middle. It is caught again by Bledsoe. This one down all the way to the Phoenix 31-yard line.
She knows how to get herself open, and she's got great hands.
Eldridge to Bledsoe has been one of the most consistent connections in the entire WFA this year. Bledsoe picked up her 4th touchdown of the season earlier in the game.
That's probably because they're rushing touchdowns, but moving it downfield, I'm sure she's picking up the yardage.
Eldridge dropping back, looking for a wheel route. And that one right into the breadbasket, a little behind, but hauled in by Sorensen, and a touchdown saving tackle on the far side by Katie Turner. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. As I would expect a potential another quarterback keeper here for Eldridge. Courtney Eldridge came in tied for 2nd in the country in rushing touchdowns, as well as being top 5 in passing touchdowns. Likely headed for All-American status this year, as Eldridge will take it, goes to the left side, pushes forward, and they're going to give it to her. A touchdown run, 3rd overall of the game for Eldridge. Makes it 18-0.
Looks like they're going to line up to kick the ball again. I apologize for the camera work and had little technical problems.
Kick is up, and it is wide right.
Missed it.
So the defense is held on the extra point attempts, but the Phoenix trailing by 3 possessions now. 18-0. Their offense sputtering out in enemy territory did not stop the opposing rage as Oklahoma goes 63 yards, and it puts up their 3rd touchdown of the game. Eldridge in the process going over 1,000 yards passing on the season, as she leads all of Division III in yardage. Right behind is Grace Francis. They are right up there. Jennifer Ranke, the only other quarterback with over 900 yards, so a chance for all 3 of them to crack 1,000 yards this year, a kind of rare number to see. As the offenses have been rolling for the Rage, Phoenix, and Snow Leopards this year. Lexi Ronning over 500 yards receiving for the Snow Leopards.
Ooh, timeout on the Phoenix.
So the Phoenix are going to use their 2nd timeout here, as they did not have enough players on the field. So we will take a short break with them and be right back. Third straight touchdown drive for the Rage to begin this game. 13:29 left in the first half. Womer will come to kick this one away, as it is going to be a short kick. It will not go the required 10 yards, and the Phoenix will have great starting field position.
Yep, there's the flag.
See if they can try and put up a score on this drive after turning over on downs the last couple of times with the ball.
Rage are pulling out all the stops.
went out at the 43-yard line, as it'll be moved to the right hash mark, and the Phoenix will take over.
Oh, then they mark off penalty, too. Gain 5 yards.
So the first down moves to the 38 of Oklahoma. First and 10 coming up for Iowa. It has been all passing on that second drive. Just 2 carries so far for Crystal Peterson, the team's all-time leader in touchdowns, carries, and yards, and that is going to draw a flag. And that was a false start by Kira Fisk here on the near side.
There are a couple of them that moved.
They'll mark off 5 yards, and sometimes that can kill the offense before it even gets a chance to get going.
Yeah, they've had a few of those this year, and it's just, they got to work on it and get strong.
So first and 15 now for Iowa. Fifth single coverage here on the near side. Be a drop back by Francis. This one delivered over and will fall incomplete. A penalty flag does fly from the secondary, though.
Yeah. Right to where the ball was incomplete.
And it is going to be pass interference. Huge boost there for Iowa. Not only are they going to get the 15 yards, but an automatic first down. Big play there for Iowa.
Are they giving them the yardage? Spot foul? Okay, now they're moving the chains at least.
So it is going to be a spot foul. They do not get the 15 yards, but the automatic first down.
Yeah.
Huge boost there.
Yeah.
So now first and 10 from the 40-yard line. Francis dropping back under pressure, sets her feet, delivers this one over. What a catch by Larissa Mikulek. Off to the races. Steps through the 2 defenders and is tackled at the last second. A shoestring tackle by Khalil Berryhill to save the touchdown. That one goes for 29.
That's what we like to see. That was outstanding. Mikulek, she fought for that ball and then fought for the yardage. And great job by Francis to hang in there because pressure was coming.
And as we are told consistently, Melissa Mikulek, also known as Curly, made a couple of huge plays last week. Came in number 11 in the country in receiving yards, goes across 200, setting a new career high. Has really given them a 1-2 3-headed monster at wide receiver this year. Francis, empty backfield. This one delivered over, caught by Shannon Christensen, spun down, and that will be a gain of about 10. They'll give her 9 down to the 2.
Francis must have saw something. She sent her out to line up more at the line rather than the backfield, and then she hit her with the ball. So I wonder if it's something that Francis picked up.
Either way, the Phoenix offense starting to chug along here.
Yep, just the way we like it. Let's see if they'll try Peterson or not. This run defense is pretty tough, but
Francis, quarterback keeper.
I was just going to say that is if she follows the blocking, Francis is a big body lady that can make her own magic happen.
The 5'11" former Graceland Yellow Jacket third baseman follows the blocks and goes in for the Phoenix touchdown with 11:45 left here in the second quarter as Iowa finally gets on the board, and the offense will stay out there to try and get the 2-point conversion.
In the last couple games, they've been going with Francis on these. Again, she's got the size and power to bowl her way into the end zone. And if she gets some blocking up front.
They'll try to run it again. Defense read it this time, and she's going to be dropped for a loss. 2-point conversion is no good, but Iowa finally able to get on the board.
And she was heading to the outside, and I don't know if that's a real good idea with this defense.
Very quick to the ball. The Rage have been all season long.
Yep.
Just the second touchdown allowed this year by Oklahoma.
Hey, we'll take it. Put it on the board.
Makes the score 18-6 as the Phoenix will kick off and look to try and stop this red-hot Rage offense.
Well, it's got to definitely put a step in their march that make them feel good, moving that ball downfield and putting one in the end zone. I'll see if they can keep that momentum going.
Shot will come over to kick this one away. Francis comes onto the field as the 11th player. First kickoff for Iowa since the open of the game. Shot gets a good one away, takes a bounce on the right side, and will be fielded over to the left side. Rose got a full head of steam and pushed out of bounds, was trying to outrun the defense there. Turner on the stop for Iowa, and Oklahoma will take over around the 50-yard line. They'll mark it at their own 48. Both rushing and passing attacks working so far for the Rage. Still 3 timeouts for them. Plenty of time to work with here in the second quarter. Rose and Bledsoe here to the near side. 2 more receivers on the left side of the formation as well. Running back is Rucker. And Eldridge, another nice read. Keeps it herself, and Christensen makes a nice stop. Gain of about 6. Christensen probably saved the first down there.
Yeah, I don't think if Christensen hadn't taken her down, I don't think she would have been stopped before first down. She had a good head of steam, and she had a little bit of open field out there.
Phoenix did a great job busting up the play in the backfield, but couldn't stop Eldridge in the process.
Yeah, it's a good read on her part. Pull that ball back.
This time it'll be a run to the outside. Rucker, a lot of daylight. Turner tried to slow her down. Rucker runs right through her, and Kushner and a host of other Phoenix defenders finally able to bring her down. But it is a gain of 17 on the play as Francis again coming to the sideline, holding that right arm a little gingerly.
Yep, she's calling for sub. Gonna have to watch that. You know, she's making big plays, but we don't want to lose her because we need her QB.
Moran and Sorensen out wide left. Bledsoe here in the slot with Rose out wide right. Quick pass completed over to the left side for Moran. That'll pick up yardage to the 25 as the offense continues to not miss a beat. Gain of 6 on first down. Trips to the right of the formation. Moran is the receiver wide left. Stevens in the backfield. They'll pitch it out wide right to her. And a great block set by Rose. Stevens off to the races. And a touchdown saving tackle by Crystal Peterson. But not before the offense gets inside of the 10 down to the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that was definitely opened up that outside, that block on the corner. It
is first and goal with 9 minutes left in the second quarter. New receiver entering the game, Dominique Jones. Had a great pass breakup earlier on the defensive side. She'll slide up in the slot to the left of the line. Hand this one off. And a penalty flag does fly. Did not see. I think they marked it shy of the end zone. We'll see what the official call is here on the penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see any arms go up by the referees. But we did get the flag fly. I'm afraid of a face mask, maybe?
Yeah, they were pointing towards the Phoenix, so at the very least, it will be an automatic first down.
And right at the goal.
Yep, they are signaling face mask, it looks like.
Personal foul, face mask.
And they did give her the touchdown.
Yeah, they did. That's the first time I've seen them signal the touchdown. So that's what they're checking. Is, do you want to take it now or on the kickoff?
PAT is up and good.
Yeah, I got that one.
Makes it 6-25. As Stevens able to run that one in. First rushing touchdown of the season for Stevens.
And a good sign, Francis has her helmet in hand, and she's on the sideline ready to go in. So yeah, they'll kick off from the 50.
Earlier they did try and go for the onside kick. See if they try to do that again here. Mikulek runs late onto the field. Wilmer out to kick this one away as she just knocked in the extra point attempt. Goes over to the left side, takes a bounce, and Kira Fisk off of the bounce takes the return. Picks up yardage to around the 40-yard line, which is where Iowa will take over. Their offense was able to come together, put a score up on the board, and they'll need to match it as the Rage 4 for 4 on touchdown drives today. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. This is the worst starting field position for Iowa here in the last couple of weeks. Phoenix coming off back-to-back wins over the Minnesota Minks and the Cedar Raptors. Francis, double clutches, completes this one to Schott, but Schott loses yardage, able to come back and pick up some more. Gain of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4. First catch of the game for Tiffany Schott as they've gone to that 4 wide receiver look. Trying to get this passing attack continue its hot streak from the last couple of games. Francis. Good blocking, looking, and that should draw a flag, and it does. That is going to be pass interference. Could potentially call that the ball was not catchable, but at the very least, illegal contact. And there is an injured Rage player at midfield. I believe that might be number 18, Dominique Jones. Right in the area where the contact happened.
Yep, don't want to see that. We want to see all the players healthy, starting the game and ending the game. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand is, oh, they're carrying her off? Somebody just lifted her up and carried her off. Oh, strong man. What was I going to say? Yeah, we don't like the injuries. Oh, something with Division Three, a lot of people, you know, if you're new to this, at this level, they don't get paid to play. They essentially pay them,
They have to
their
pay
way.
to play. Yeah.
Yeah, they pay to play.
Wasty lines up as an extra blocker in the backfield. 4 receivers out. This one completed over. Shot. Able to outrun one defender. And she'll be pushed out of bounds at the opposing 42-yard line. Gain of 7. And with that last pass, it put Grace Francis over 1,000 yards on the season for the first time in Iowa Phoenix history.
That's pretty cool. She has definitely come on her own this year.
83 yards on the game through 5 touchdowns last week. Now holds the franchise record for touchdowns and yards in a season. And what a bounce back year. Last year, 3 touchdown passes compared to 12 interceptions. Now 12 touchdown passes compared to just 6 picks on the year. She'll drop back, look over the top, and that one is in and out of the hands, almost intercepted.
Yeah, you almost jinxed her on that one.
Pass falls incomplete, ends a streak of 4 completions in a row for the second-year quarterback. Then a receiver on that play was Shannon Christensen. Christensen 39 yards away from breaking Britt Peterson's record of receiving yards in a season, set back in 2021, the year the Phoenix made it all the way to the national semifinals. This one in and out of the hands and caught by Shot.
Awesome.
Should have been intercepted by Newsvig.
Opportunistic.
Shot gets the catch.
Right place, right time.
Goes for 10 more yards.
The defender was kind of bummed on that one.
Tiffany Shot, WR4, third catch of the game.
Well, that's probably what they need to do is they're, you know, look away from their top players who are being covered well and start looking at the secondary options. It's working.
Francis, good protection, looks deep, overthrows everyone. It will fall incomplete. I don't think she saw anything, and just to avoid a negative play, was just launching that one where no one could get it.
Yeah, because there were 3 defenders out there. That would have been a tough catch to bring in.
2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And the defense is now going back to that 3-4 look where they are not rushing as many as they've been unable to get the offensive line playing great today. Nikki Dara back at left tackle after missing the beginning of the season. Been a staple on this offensive line for the last couple of seasons. Francis looking for Fisk. And that is going to draw another flag as she was going up for the ball and got held. I believe that will be called against Stephanie Faubel, number 21. And that should put it inside the red zone for the Phoenix. Iowa definitely the benefit of some penalties here, but they will take what they can get against arguably the best team in Division III.
Yards are yards.
1st and 10 at the Rage 17-yard line.
All right, let's see what they can do with this.
6:17 left in the first half. Francis with Wasty to her left. Completed over. Fisk trying to get to the outside. Cuts it back into the middle. Steps through a couple tackles before being swung down there by Womer. Gain of 11. It'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Fisk has been quiet today, and it's nice to see her making catches, making yards.
Third catch of the game. Gets it down to the 6.
That helps their momentum. And this is what we've seen the last couple weeks is if they start out a little slow, they start coming together and making things happen.
Shot will split out. One-on-one coverage here on the near side. They hand it off and blown up in the backfield. It's a big loss on the play as they were trying to give it to Wasty.
Boy, they read that play.
Loss of 3 on the carry. Francis has the lone touchdown on the quarterback keeper on the last drive. First run play we've seen since that touchdown, but excluding that touchdown play, that is their first run since their first drive. As we've only seen 2 carries for Crystal Peterson.
Yeah, that was not working early in the game, so they went away from it. But
Fisk is a big red zone target here for them. Cut in front. Tiffany Shot. What a catch by Shot. Made some huge plays here on the drive and gets the touchdown.
Called it a touchdown. We're good. Well, there we go. There's some momentum going.
As the Phoenix put 6 up on the board.
Now we know the Phoenix do not kick their extra points. They got to go for 2.
They make it back to a 2-possession game. They do bring Crystal Peterson back in on this play. She's been playing primarily defense, which they have definitely needed her to against this Rage offense. They complete it out to her. Good blocking. Christensen able to seal there.
Yes.
Mikulek and Christensen able to get the blocks on the corner, and the 2-point conversion is good.
That's awesome. Put it 25-14. That's awesome.
Tiffany Shot her first touchdown of the season. I believe that might be her first career touchdown with the Phoenix.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Made a running catch at the knees. Cut back to an 11-point game here.
Yeah, looking through the camera, I couldn't tell if she caught it or not. Then when she rolled up and held it up, it's like, yep. All right.
3 catches on that possession, including the tip pass that could have been a pick. Instead goes as the touchdown.
Nice job. Hey, while we have a second here, I want to do a shout out to the I-80 Women's Hockey Tournament that's going on this weekend at the Recplex. I'm hoping that we've got some of the ladies watching the game. I was covering a couple of their games last night, and we're going to cover a couple games tomorrow. Well, at least the championship game tomorrow, and it's a really good thing. Seeing the women's sports getting a lot of attention this weekend.
Jones, a great return here, gets it into Phoenix territory, down to the 39-yard line, and that is where the Rage will take over.
Yeah, so just to follow up, we've got, I think it's 2 teams from Omaha, Lincoln, Wisconsin, Kansas City, and a couple locals, and I know I'm missing one somewhere. So anyway, good shout out. I hope they are online watching, maybe a few here, and we'll be covering that game, championship game, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m.
And the Phoenix are going to burn their 3rd and final timeout of the first half. We'll take a short break and be right back. You're watching WFA football here on Pardon My French Media. It is 1st and 10 from the Phoenix 39-yard line. Oklahoma, 4 possessions, 4 touchdowns, as the Phoenix desperately need to get a stop. Hand this one off to Rucker. Big hole on the right side of the line. As both offensive lines have played extremely well here, it is going to be a gain of 9 down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's real close. Oh, they moved the ball back a little bit. It looked real close for the first down, but they moved it back. So it's right at the 30. That's an interesting setup too. Is the offensive line stands up at the line while the position players huddle. And then they're waiting for a call from the sideline.
Eldridge spun down in the backfield. Megan Bush.
There we go.
2 defenders, her and Darcy Pacheco. Excuse me, that was Rachel Schwabe on the stop.
It's another strong defensive player. Bush or Schwabe. It's a name we haven't called lately, and we know they're out there, and they play tough. I think a lot of it, they plug the holes and don't make the tackles. But it's nice to see them get in on the tackle. Hear the rumble of the bleachers stomp.
3rd and 5 here, under 3 minutes left in the first half. Play action pass, trying to set up a screen. It is caught. Christensen couldn't bring Bledsoe down. She's going to be right near that first down marker.
Yep, right at the 30 again. What?
First time they have gotten the Rage to 4th down with 2.5 minutes left here in the first half.
All right, let's see if they can get a stop on them. Running in a couple players.
It looks like Stephanie Faubel and Alicia Williams coming into the game.
Is that a Wildcat? No, she's up.
Eldridge.
Blocking, yeah.
Able to get the first before being dragged down. It is a gain of 4. And we'll stop the clock momentarily for the 2-minute warning.
They put the extra back right behind the guard. And so after the tackle, you got a whole nother blocker right there to open the hole.
We'll take a short break for the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10. When we come back, the Rage driving again. First and 10, under 2 minutes left here. Still 3 timeouts for the Rage as they're going to pitch this one forward.
A lot of field there.
Rose off to the races, gets past Kushner, and we pushed out of bounds. Great last-second tackle by Mikulek to save the touchdown. As she is pushed out at the 5-yard line.
Yep, use that sideline as your partner in the tackle.
So 1st and goal for the Rage as the Phoenix running some late players on.
Ooh, better hustle. They're going to snap that ball.
As too many players on the field, Eldridge going to go right up the middle, though, and it won't matter. gets her third rushing touchdown of the game. And the Rage into the end zone for the 5th time here in the first half, making it 31-14.
Yep, illegal substitution declined. All right, back to the kicking.
Kick is up, and the second time today, the extra point is good. Makes it 32-14. The Phoenix will have an opportunity, but have already burned all 3 of their timeouts, coming in inopportune situations as well. So they're going to have to hope for a big return and maybe some penalties to help them out as they try to get back in the end zone. It was Tiffany Schott with the touchdown catch their last time with the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of yards for them to cover, depending on where the kick ends up, but they've got a pretty solid kicker, so you're expecting tough field position.
The Phoenix with the number 1 yardage offense and number 4 scoring offense here in Division III, but they are playing a very well-rounded team defensively and offensively for the Rage, and they have taken it to the Phoenix defense, yet to stop them on 5 straight possessions.
Yeah, the Rage are a very strong team. You're seeing it tonight.
In the last couple of years, the Phoenix have matched up with some of the best teams that have won multiple national championships. They played the Oklahoma City Lady Force in the playoffs back in 2022. They have matched up with both the Vixen and Nebraska Pride, 2 of the best teams at the Pro and Division II levels, respectively. As Fisk is going to have to chase this one and just, squirted away, but the Phoenix able to recover it.
Say that was close.
So they're going to have to hope for a couple big plays here to try and put points up before halftime. I do believe the Phoenix will get the ball to start, as this is just their 4th possession, or 5th possession compared to the 5 that we saw on the other side as well.
Yeah, Phoenix kicked off, so they should get the ball to start second half.
It's been a big scoring half on both sides. The Phoenix with a pair of touchdowns, with 3 touchdowns on the other side as well for the Rage. 1:45 on the clock. 1st and 10 for Iowa. They'll start this drive at their own 37-yard line. 3 receivers here on the left side of the formation. Peterson is the back. This one, trying to get it out to Schott, will fall incomplete. Takes 4 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, if you're setting up a screen, you gotta hit her.
Schott with 4 catches on the game, unable to haul that one in. Those 4 catches have gone for 32 yards so far. Shannon Christensen came in just 75 yards shy of Britt Peterson's record set in 2021 of 420 receiving yards on the season. She's got 3 catches for 35 yards so far. Would love to get a big play to her in the passing game. Looking outside, it's Christensen. As we're talking about her, steps out of the tackle. She's down to the 40, goes out of bounds at the 38. Play goes for 24.
We know that Christensen is a playmaker.
Huge pass completion there, and Iowa is rolling.
And got the out of bounds, stop that clock.
Minute 31 left here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 coming up from the 38-yard line. As we break for halftime, don't forget, we'll come back, look at some halftime stats and some look ahead to the second half as well. The receivers on the right side, Fear of Fisk here, one-on-one coverage with a little safety help over the top potentially. Francis completes this one to Peterson out of the backfield, trying to get to the corner, but Christensen couldn't hold the block, and it's going to be a loss of 3, and the clock will continue to run. Well, really needed Christensen to hold that block on the outside, but a great defensive play out there, I believe, by Jones to come up and make the tackle.
Yeah, I think if she had held the block anymore, it would have been holding.
Phoenix trying to hurry up a little bit here. Down to a minute left in the first half. Need another big play and out of bounds to try and set themselves up for a couple shots to the end zone. Francis pump fakes over the top and can't complete it out to Christensen. That one falls incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 13 with 49 seconds left in the first half.
Now you're looking at the potential of actually turning the ball over if you don't get this first down.
Still 3 timeouts for the Rage. Phoenix need to get a play off. Just 5 seconds on the play clock. Francis will take the snap. It's a low snap, able to recover it. Rolls out to the side, and this one is going to fall incomplete as Francis took a shot. Bledsoe there on the pressure. And it'll bring up 4th and 13 with 43 seconds remaining in the first half.
No timeouts. Clock is stopped with the incomplete, but they're going to have to hustle and make sure they beat the play clock.
25 seconds down to 20 now. As I'll expect, this could potentially be a delay of game, as the Phoenix have yet to break huddle with 15.
Yeah, it's usually right at this time that's tight.
Team hustles up to the line, down to 7 seconds on the play clock. Francis on 4th and 13 under pressure. Steps out of the sack, delivers this one over. It is caught, but it is not going to be enough for the first.
Well, it moves the ball.
Clock stops with 29 seconds, but it is going to be a turnover on downs.
What a great effort. They needed 2 more yards.
Gain of 11 on the play.
So now it'll be interesting, will the Rage try to move it downfield, or are they just going to kind of kill the clock?
With their passing attack, they definitely could take at least a couple shots.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Why take the foot off the gas?
First and 10 from the 30-yard line, 29 seconds and 3 timeouts for the Rage to at least potentially get in field goal range. Play action pass. Setting up a screen here. It is in and out of the hands, almost intercepted as Schwabe trying to get her hands on the play.
She was right there. In fact, I think the offense player knocked it out of her hands.
Would have been a huge play to give the Phoenix at least an opportunity to try and put a score up.
And again, it's nice to hear Schwabe's name called. She's a veteran player, been around for a few years.
22 seconds on the game clock. Eldridge, no pressure at all as they are trying to take away those opportunities. It is completed out to the far side. Mikulek able to drop her inbounds. It'll stop momentarily as Sorensen makes the catch.
Yeah, move them chains.
And the Rage will use a timeout, it appears.
I think that leaves them with 1.
That's their first timeout.
Oh, they're not keeping them on. I thought they had taken 1 already.
Nope, Phoenix had used all 3 of theirs.
Okay.
So it'll be first and 10 seconds. So an opportunity at least for 1 more play. Rage take a timeout. We'll take one as well and be right back. Could be the final play here of the first half. 1st and 10. Eldridge trying to set up a screen. Steps out of the pressure. And pass falls incomplete with 3.5 seconds left here before halftime. It was Jessica White on the pressure up front.
Oh, we're going to have a one and done.
Eldridge has had an absolutely phenomenal first half. One passing touchdown that went over 1,000 yards on the season, which Grace Francis has also done on the other side for Iowa. 4 total touchdowns here for the Rage quarterback. 20 total on the year, 10 passing, 10 rushing. Arguably the 2 best quarterbacks stat-wise in the entire country here today. They'll send Rose in motion. They'll pitch it over to her.
Yeah,
They'll fake the pitch back, and Rose will get dropped out of bounds, and that will do it here in the first half. It is 32-14 at halftime. Young on the stop on that play. As we'll see how much time they will put on the halftime clock. But we want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will take a break for halftime, come back looking at some stats and what each team can do going into the second half to get things ready here for a win. We'll take a short break and be right back. You're watching Iowa Phoenix football on Pardon My French Media. We talked during pregame that it could be a matchup of two of the best quarterbacks, if not the two best, in Division III, and it has lived up to that. 32-14, Oklahoma in charge as the Phoenix defense has really struggled to stop them as Kushner makes a nice snag on the quick kick, and it'll be great field position. 1st and 10 from the opposing 46-yard line, but Courtney Eldridge and Grace Francis have lived up to the billing. Francis, 14-25, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, and a rushing touchdown to her credit so far. Courtney Eldridge on the other side, 4 total touchdowns, 1 through the air finding Bledsoe, and then 3 on the ground from short yardage. She's got 20 total touchdowns on the season. Francis picking up the 2 touchdowns today. She's now got 13 through the air, which leads all of WFA Division III. And she also has 2 touchdowns on the ground, so she's hit 15 total TDs on the year as well. They have not gone to the rushing attack as Francis gets this one over to Fisk. It is in and out of the hands and dropped by the rookie.
Come on, Rook. No. Kira has had a great season. She's had a couple drops like that, but, you know, it happens.
Stat to watch here in the second half. After going for 5 catches and 70 yards in the first half, Shannon Christensen, who already owns the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th most yards in a season in Phoenix history, has never been able to eclipse Britt Peterson in her stellar 2021 season, is now just 5 yards away. So a quick slant route could break that record. She'll line up in the slot.
And you know she'll be targeted.
And they're going to look to Christensen's way. And that pass will fall incomplete as the Phoenix start 0-2 on 2 pass attempts to begin this second half.
I like the aggressive play. They need to be aggressive to try to get back into it. Take some chances.
For the first time really this season, the Phoenix have gone to the 4 wide receiver look, all 4 of them making plays. I already mentioned Christensen, 5 catches for 70 yards. Larissa Mikulek, that 1 catch, but a 29-yard play that set up the touchdown run for Francis. 4 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown for Tiffany Schott as Francis delivers this one over, and Schott makes another catch. This one will go for 11 up to the 35-yard line.
Schott's having a great game. That's like I said, go to the secondary options.
Kira Fisk had a couple of targets and a couple of drops in the first half. She had 3 catches for 20 yards total for the game. And Crystal Peterson, the lowest amount of touches she has had in years in the first half. 2 carries for 0 yards and 1 catch for -3 receiving yards. As they have been very pass heavy. Already 28 attempts on the game for the stud quarterback Grace Francis.
I was going to say, you know that Peterson's a threat, and the defense is working hard to keep her from being a threat to them.
Pass falls incomplete, stops the clock with 13:53 left here in the third quarter.
In fact, what's interesting, I was looking the last couple plays, and Peterson in the backfield. She's actually on the sideline.
Yeah, they've had Tia Wasty in as an extra blocker.
Yeah.
Wasty had 1 carry for -3 yards as well in the first half. Just 4 rush attempts in the first half. 1 for Francis, 1 for Wasty, and 2 for Peterson. Wasty will be to the left of Francis in the shotgun. 3 receivers here on the near side. They have not found any success really going Fisk's way here in the second half. Francis going to look to the other side and knock down. Great defensive play made there. Trying to see, I believe that was number 19. Excuse me, there is no number 19.
15?
Yeah, I believe it might have been number 15. That is Amy Moran, who's made a couple plays on the offensive side. But her and Dominique Jones were in the area looking for the stop. That'll make it now 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I like having Wasty in the backfield as the extra blocker. Francis was getting hit quite a bit, and, you know, if you're not running the ball, then get the protection out there.
They complete this one to Schott. Good extra block and a step
Nice
back by
cut
Tiffany
back.
Schott. A breakout game for her at receiver. Finally brought down by Bledsoe, as that one is going to go for 19 yards.
She felt that tackle, but what a great run.
It'll be 1st and 10. Second catch of the second half for Tiffany Schott. And she'll get a well-deserved break as Kushner will come in at WR4. About 13 minutes left here in the third quarter. Phoenix offense down inside the red zone at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10. Kushner and Fisk out wide left. Christensen in the slot with Mikulek out wide right. Looking towards the end zone, trying to float it back for Fisk. Fisk tried to make a swim move back inside and kind of lost her footing a little bit and a little underthrown.
Yeah, when she made the swim move, I thought she was going to get it. That was a good move for the ball.
They've gone Fisk's way 3 times here in the third quarter, yet to make a catch.
She's a good threat, though. She's going to pull that ball in eventually, and just got 8 touchdowns on the year. She knows how to get that ball.
And it was a big second half last week. Had some struggles in the first half, dropped a couple sure touchdowns, and then caught 4 touchdown passes in the second half. They complete this one out to her. Mikulek trying to block out in front. She'll pick up about 8 yards before going out of bounds.
Yeah, she did what she could to get as much yardage.
It'll make it 3rd and 2 officially.
And here comes Schott back.
So Schott will come back in. She's been a big target here. 4-down territory for the Phoenix, trailing by 3 scores. Francis, 2 total touchdowns on the game. Schott had the receiving touchdown. Career high with 62 yards on 6 catches here so far. Francis in the shotgun. Looking at Fisk's first, and Francis will take off running with it. She won't get to the end zone, but she will move the chains. Picks up, it looked like 5 yards.
Yeah, we don't see that much out of her, but man, that field was open in front of her. Why not take off?
And it'll be 1st and goal now for Iowa.
There's Peterson coming in. Now see if she's got some razzle-dazzle in her and get through that defensive line.
Francis brings the play call in from head coach Demario Dara. 11:40 left in the third quarter. Phoenix driving. Drive started inside of Rage territory. 2 backs on the possession. Handoff to Peterson on the left side. She is met at the line of scrimmage and no gain on the play. Just her 3rd carry of the game. She has been a monster this season, averaging over 100 yards per game.
Yeah, this defense is not letting her get yardage today.
Came in with 742 yards in 5 games, just under 150 yards per contest.
That's fantastic.
Has tied her own record for most rushing touchdowns in a season. See if she could possibly get it here on this possession.
All right, 2nd down. They kind of have their options open.
Fisk wide left, Christensen wide right. They're going to look to...
Did she get grabbed out there?
No penalty flag flies, so it'll be 3rd and goal now.
Thought she got slowed up, and it looked like defender had her, but I'm calling from the press box, not from the sideline.
That'll make it 3rd and goal. 10:43 on the clock. As the Phoenix looking to punctuate this with a touchdown.
Yeah, now it's a little tighter, a 3rd down. You got to make something happen here.
They'll pitch it out. Good blocking on the edge. And Peterson able to dive forward for the Phoenix touchdown.
There you go.
Sets a new program record with her 8th rushing touchdown of the season. And that is exactly what Iowa needed to do. Their third straight drive outside of the turnover on downs late with about 40 seconds left. But Peterson gets into the end zone, cuts it back to a 2-possession game, and now a lot is going to rely on the defense here in this second half.
Yeah, that's a great way to start the second half. Come out, get some momentum going, and keep it running. Let's see what they can do for the 2.
I'm looking at an out route for Kira Fisk right here. They will pitch it, basically running the exact same play, and it will have the exact same result.
All right, like that one. Note it down.
10-point game here in the third quarter. Eyes will move to the defense, who have yet to be able to get a stop outside of the game going to half.
Yeah, I'm just put myself on the line and say it, that it seems like the Rage were kind of owning this game, and you know, you're sitting here in the start of the second half, or a little bit into the second half, and you got a 10-point game. That's good.
Phoenix got to be happy with that drive. It was Tiffany's shot, 2 catches for 30 yards.
Yeah, I bet she didn't show up on any game films, huh? Heard to scout her when she was the quiet one. Oh, that's good. I like to see it. You know, and I thought about it earlier that it's a shame we're missing September Dale, because she's been a great target in the middle, but she's out with a leg injury.
We've seen Francis go to the sideline a couple times, grabbing at that shoulder, but has stayed in the game consistently. This one will be taken by Jones from around the 45. She'll get a short return up to the 48-yard line before being dropped. Looks like Turner and Peterson in on the stop for Iowa.
All right, let's see what the defense can do now. They can go with the offensive momentum.
The Iowa defense was able to get Oklahoma to 4th down on the last drive, but the Rage continue to put their foot down and able to control the line of scrimmage. There's been very little pressure up front from the Phoenix defense as they look to try and get a stop here and see if the offense get it back to a 1-possession game.
But they have been shutting down the big plays.
Eldridge will keep this one off the fake to Rucker. And again, the offensive line getting the push up front. It'll be a gain of 7 up to the 45-yard line of the Phoenix. Gain of 7 on 1st down.
And give the Rage credit. You know, running an option is really tough to defend. I don't care what level you play. And then you get that push by the offensive line. You know, you're looking 5 yards automatic.
Bledsoe and Rose out wide right. 4 receivers on this possession. They hand it off to Rucker, trying to bounce it outside. Wasty there.
There we go.
For the stop. Finally getting some push up front. Wasty comes from the 2nd level to drop the ball carrier. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
That's it. You know, the defense kind of made a line there that she had to bounce outside, and then you get the linebackers popping up to follow the play. There's some great momentum getting going.
Probable 4-down territory here for Oklahoma, but we'll see if the Iowa Phoenix can force them to 4th down. Bush in on the play this time. Complete out, looking for Bledsoe, and it is caught over the head of Turner, and that will be enough for the 1st down, plus a chunk more yards. If Turner had been able to get a hand up, she may have been able to pick that one off.
Yeah, she had a good read on it, made a good try on it.
Shot comes up with the stop. She's been all over the field today for the Phoenix.
Let's make some noise for our Iowa Phoenix defense!
Eldridge continues her masterclass of a game. As this one handed off to Rucker, steps out of the first tackle and somehow able to step out, but there is a flag that comes in.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold.
I don't know if it could be a face mask where Bush got her hand up near the helmet. Nope, it will be a hold. That one was a toss-up. That one could have definitely gone the other way.
I did see the head move too, but I think it was looking where she was going to go. But yeah, when she couldn't get a hand on it, I was thinking hold.
Your Iowa Phoenix D has them at first and 15. Let's make some noise.
That'll back them up 10 yards, so it'll be 1st and 20 after the penalty.
But it's only first down. Got to be strong.
And we've seen this team be able to make up yards in a hurry, as the Phoenix have not been able to string negative plays together. Looking to set up a screen here.
Yeah.
Gets it over to Rucker.
Yeah, they need to pull back the rush when they see that happening. You got 3 players going at the quarterback. You know that something's happened behind you.
They have run these screen passes extremely well. It has been the running back screen set up on one side for the Rage, and Iowa, the last couple of games, have gone to that wide receiver screen, and they have some great blocking
Yeah, they do.
on that outside play by Christensen and Mikulek. Have been making plays for people like Schott and Fisk the last 2 contests. Stevens comes in as the back on 2nd and 11. She'll get the carry, and again, good pressure up front. Dives forward, and she should have enough for the first, and she will move the chains up to the 23.
A big run.
The right side of the line continuing to win at the point of attack. It has been Rachel Stagner and Rebecca Crawford, especially up front for the Rage. 7 minutes on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Rage looking for another score. Low snap, and a penalty flag flies. They blow the play dead.
Yep, motion on the offense.
They were able to withstand 1 penalty and pick up another first.
Well, that helps the Phoenix. You know, it's our team. We want all the help we can get.
Once again, make some noise for your Iowa Phoenix defense.
All right, let's see what they can do with this. They need a stop. They not just one play. They need a turnover or something.
This one in and out of the hands of Rose and falls incomplete.
That's a surprise there. They've
One
been
of the
catching
first
those.
drops all game
Yeah.
for this talented group of receivers. Mentioned coming in today that the 6 of the top 10 receivers in terms of yardage in Division III in this game, including numbers 2, 3, and 4, with Vanessa Bledsoe, Shannon Christensen, and Kira Fisk. Bledsoe with a touchdown today. Christensen 70 yards through the air. It has been Larissa Mikulek, the big play player so far, as this is a blown play, but
yeah.
Eldridge has the speed to make up for it.
Yeah, she does. And the power.
And that is going to be right near a first down marker, a gain of 15. The Phoenix can't have plays like that.
No. And they're moving the chains.
Phoenix defense blows a play there, as clock is going to stop with an injury timeout. We'll take a short break and be right back. It's a 1st and 10 for the Rage as they continue to move the football. The Phoenix defense struggling here as Stevens bounces this one to the right side. Stiff arms Turner is eventually brought down, but another nice gain. It looks like 7 on the carry down to the 6-yard line.
Just out of reach of the defense. They're reaching out, and I've said so many times this season, that one step, you know, it's just missing it. But good job by the defense. They're working hard, trying to stop it. We don't want them to get a touchdown.
2nd and 3 in the shotgun. Eldridge hands this one off to Stevens, and she's
There you
met
go.
at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard on the play, but they will give her no gain officially.
That's a way to clog a hole.
Defense needs 2 more big plays like that. They have struggled on 3rd down even when they're able to get.
Let's keep it going for that Iowa Phoenix defense.
Under 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Time becoming a huge factor in a multi-score game.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
I'll tell you this much, though. If I am an opposing defense going into the playoffs with the Phoenix, still a strong possibility to make it even if they lose today, I do not want to play this Phoenix offense who's put up 22 against the number 2 scoring defense in the country.
Yeah, a reminder, this defense by the Rage have only given up 6 points.
Eldridge right up the middle again. Defense
Uh-oh.
have been unable to stop that all game as Eldridge was a step away from a touchdown.
Late flag.
Bush was the one on the stop. There is a penalty flag that flies. As of right now, it would be a 1st down.
And there's a helmet off, so that's makes you fear a face mask. Personal foul on the Phoenix face mask.
So that will be a 1st and goal now. As the Rage,
And I mean, that ball is like a foot from the goal line.
yeah, I would expect this is going to be another short yardage run for either Stevens or Eldridge. Phoenix have been unable to stop that consistently all
Yeah.
game.
Power run up front. Boom.
Eldridge, a quick stiff arm, gets into the end zone. That is her 4th rushing touchdown of the game.
All right. Well, they'll kick the ball, I assume. Yep.
And the big thing here, though, is the Phoenix did get that 2-point conversion. So if this extra point is no good, it remains a 2-possession game.
Yep, keep it tight. Now she's straightened out her kicks. Her last couple have been pretty good, but there's the bobble, and she passed it. Yeah.
And the Phoenix are able to stop it. PAT no
That's
good.
That's good.
And they remain in this game.
All the little wins lead up to a big win. Come on.
So Courtney Eldridge, her 5th total touchdown of the game, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air and 4 on the ground, came in with just 7 on the season, and now leading the country with 11.
Yeah. Well, you know, the opportunity's been there. You know, broken play, whatever. The Phoenix defensive line is kind of giving up some holes. A lot of that's the blocking by the offense. But yeah, if the opportunity's there, and by running that option, she's seeing how the defense reacts and taking off with the ball. That's what's giving her that opportunity.
The Rage will come out to kick this one off. Phoenix will need another score to try and keep with this dominating offense for Oklahoma. Takes a bounce, and it will be, it looks like, Mikulek just falling on it at the 40.
That's all right. That's good field position.
So the Phoenix offense will come back out. Grace Francis started rough, just 1 of 5, but bounced back, completed 2 more passes, and A touchdown run for Crystal Peterson, giving her 8 on the season, breaking her own franchise record. We'll put a post out later today with just the records that the Phoenix have broken this season alone. As Grace Francis and Shannon Christensen just 5 yards away from the receiving record. And the Phoenix are going to have to burn a timeout coming onto a drive. That's the type of mistake you can't have happen. So they will burn a timeout. We will take one as well and be right back. .342 left here in the third quarter. The Phoenix having to burn a timeout in a close game like this is not something you want to have happen. This one completed over to Kira Fisk, gain of just 4 on the play.
There we go. Let's get her going more. Yeah, I'd really like to see him step up the offense speed and try to get that momentum rolling. You know, play after play.
35th pass attempt of the game already for Grace Francis.
Wow.
Completed 56% of her passes in the first half.
It's a lot of passes, but when you're not running the ball, and you're just passing. And I don't blame her. You know, that's been a tough defense to run against. We've seen that.
In and out of the hands. Christensen would have had the record on that play, and instead it'll be 3rd and 5.
I hate to even call that a drop, you know.
Five catches now for the game, 33 yards. Total for the contest for Kira Fisk. Both these teams going to have a host of All-Americans this season.
Yeah, you hope so. Big breakout years for a few players. And a few that just continue the action.
This one in and out of the hands of Schott.
And she had a blocker.
And that'll bring up 4th and 5. Offense will stay out there. They need a score on this drive to keep their chances alive. They'll split 3 out here on the near side. Fisk alone, single coverage on the far side of the field. 4th and 5. Francis looking to take the top off for Fisk. And Kira Fisk drops the touchdown.
Oh. Did the defender mess with her, or she? Oh, no.
4th drop of the game for Kira Fisk.
That was a big one right there. That's too bad.
3 straight incomplete passes for Iowa, and they turn it over on downs. A touchdown on this drive could signal the end of chances for the Phoenix.
Can make it tough when, you know, this quarter is rolling along pretty quick. We're at 2:44 left. That's tightening up how many possessions you have.
And the Phoenix are going to have to burn a second timeout. Defense was not organized. Shannon Christensen furious as she's walking off the field. So the Phoenix call their second timeout. We'll step away and be right back. Fifth timeout used of the game for the Phoenix, and that is, I believe, the third one that has had to be burned before the start of a drive, and another one on a timeout. As they set up another screen, it is caught by Bledsoe, and she will have a first down and more.
That was a deep screen.
Play goes for 17 down to the Phoenix 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was a few yards downfield where, you know, usually it's closer to the line of scrimmage, but that one got downfield where it's kind of no man's land. The linebackers are busy at the line. Your DBs are out with your receivers. Opens up the middle of that field.
2 minutes left in the third quarter. Eldridge continues to show a masterclass with this offense. Hands it off to Stevens on the right side. That is where they have had the most success going against this Phoenix defense. It'll be a push up front and a gain of 7 on first down. And, you know, there's a couple plays where Iowa was able to get it at the line of scrimmage or even a loss on the play. But for most of this game, it is 7, 6, 5 yards every single carry.
Yeah, and that's the success that the Rage have had.
And they've been doing this all without Krishan Simmons, who led the team with 360 yards and also had 2 touchdowns coming to today's game on 6.4 yards a carry. Second and 3 as we approach a minute left in the quarter. They fake the pitch, looking to go deep, has someone open, and that'll be pass interference against Shot. Didn't turn the head and made contact. Tough to argue that one, and I believe that'll be a spot foul and should be first and goal.
Yeah. And the receiver kind of pulled up and Shot ran right into her.
Actually, so I believe what it has been is it is a spot foul if it is less than 15 yards.
That's what I was just going to say. I think that's what it's been. I know college rules are much different than the NFL.
Yep, it is 15 from the line of scrimmage. So it is now first and goal.
But it is to goal, so. Yeah, that's something they've actually been talking about in the college game is if they kind of want it to be a spot foul because it occurs in the end zone, but you only pick up 10, 15 yards out of it, you know, and it's a big impact in college.
The Rage just able to avoid a delay of game, and 6 total touchdowns today for Courtney Eldridge as she gets in the end zone on the ground for the 5th time.
And if she had handed that ball off
Megan
on
Bush
the end
right
around, it was blown up. So Eldridge is doing a great job of reading that defense and making the right choices.
The read option, we've seen it grow in the NFL, and it has been run to perfection today by Courtney Eldridge, and she will stay out there with the offense for the 2 point.
I was going to say, they're not going to kick it this time around.
Takes a big hit. The pass is deflected, but the penalty flag does fly on the far side. If it goes against the Rage, they will get another excuse me, if it'll go against the Phoenix, it'll be another opportunity. And it's going to be an offsides call, so
they get another shot at it and closer.
Penalty on Iowa, retry.
Now they're, what, a yard away? Yard and a half. They probably punch it in, run it in.
yep, Eldridge to the left side. Steps out of the tackle from Bush, and she is in again. Makes it 46-22.
Second effort, the 2-point conversion is good.
Phoenix came in just allowing 69 points on the season. The Rage had only allowed 6. Both offensive have played well, but the Rage defense has done enough to come up with those key stops. Iowa, outside of the half ending, has not stopped Oklahoma from putting a touchdown on the board. And now we have under a minute left here in the third quarter, and the Rage have a stranglehold on this game.
Yeah, it's too bad. That Phoenix looked like they had some momentum going, and they got stopped there, turned the ball over, and Rage marched it. And that's a big difference to make up.
Shot back to return for your Iowa Phoenix.
And realistically, outside of that early start, like you take the first quarter out, this has been a very close game.
It has, yes.
Like outside of that 12-0 start, it has been a 12-point game. Off the bounce, this one is taken by Schott, trying to bring it to the near side, losing yardage, but able to cut back upfield. Jones will drop her.
Almost got the corner, but
Return by Tiffany Shot.
Schott continues her impressive gain. Clock stops with 49 seconds here in the
Great start for
third quarter.
Iowa Phoenix.
One guaranteed quarter left after this in the Phoenix season. Waiting to see what the playoff scenarios will come into effect.
all right, let's see what Phoenix can do here. Backs are against the wall. They got to make some things happen.
3 receivers on the left side. Francis
Good
pump
fake.
fakes, completes it. Nope, it is dropped. The third drop in the last 4 passes for the Phoenix receivers.
It's so tough because that's good receivers, good hands, and they're in great field position when the drops happen.
That's 4 straight incomplete passes for Grace Francis. 2nd and 10. Francis will drop back, completes. Nope, another drop. Trying to get that one out to Schott.
I think she heard footsteps.
3 straight drops to begin this drive and complete the last one. And several from a couple sure-handed receivers.
Yeah, they're better than this. It's a shame this is happening. It's a big impact. Dropping those balls is really costing them.
Francis hands this
There we
one
go.
off to Peterson. Big hole.
Ooh,
Steps
get the
out of a
corner.
tackle. This is the Crystal Peterson we've seen this season. Her best carry of the day. Goes for 7. It'll bring up 4th down.
That's a good run. Something we have not seen today.
Your Iowa Phoenix.
Fifth carry of the game, just 10 yards on the day.
But
And that is going to be the last play of the third quarter.
I saw Coach calling the players over to the sideline, and I'm like, oh, no, not another timeout. But end of quarter, free timeout.
We will take a break for the quarter break and be back as they flip the field. 1 quarter of football left here today. You're watching Iowa Phoenix football on Pardon My French Media. Fourth and 3 to begin the fourth quarter here. Iowa trying to keep this one going. They'll hand it off. Peterson, good burst of speed out of the backfield. She'll get down to the 35, a gain of 11 on fourth down.
That's what they've been needing. Good run.
Iowa able to move the chains.
Yeah, maybe they got to work with Christensen. I'm not Christensen, Peterson. And see if she can get some runs. They were shutting her down at the beginning of the game, but you got a more tired defense now.
2 receivers either side of the formation. Francis gets last second advice from Coach Dara. Francis out wide, looking for Christensen. The pass will fall incomplete and stop the clock with 14:05. Francis walking back over with a little bit of a limp as well. Has taken a couple shots today.
Yeah, she's had a rough day. She's going to feel it tomorrow.
Second down, Iowa.
Second and 10. Francis hands it off to Peterson. Goes to the left side. Good block in front by Fisk.
There we go.
Gets down inside the 30. Gain of 7. They've needed this after 6 incomplete passes in a row. The passing game has come to a screeching halt.
Well, go the running game, it's working. And, you know, run it, pull up, pass. You got to balance it out. If the defense knows you're not running it, they're just hitting on the pass. And, you know, it's rushing. Quarterback has slowed down a little bit, too.
Looking for Fisk downfield. And that one is knocked away. And Fisk slow to get up.
Yeah, she is.
And it'll be an injury timeout on the field with fourth down coming up.
Now, if they stop the clock.
Yeah, Fisk is staying out there for this play. They ended up waving off the injury timeout as she was able to get up.
Oh, okay, so the play clock is running.
Fisk appears to be all right. Left the first game of the season due to an injury, but has been stellar for this team since. 8 total touchdowns on the year. Phoenix trying to keep their drive alive. Low snap, Francis able to pick it up and overthrows Fisk. And that will be a turnover on downs.
Bummer, looked like they were getting some momentum back.
Francis went 14 of 25 in the first half, and it has been 8 straight incompletions, and also started the half 1 of 5. And there's been some key drops, but there's also been some overthrows.
Yeah, we were talking about that. She gets the incompletions, but there have been drops involved. Well, it's kind of tough.
Eldridge brings the offense back out, a 24-point lead for the Rage. Hands this one off. White was good and good pressure up front along with Schwabe, but the blocks held long enough, and that is going to be a big gain on first down, and it'll move the chains up to the 39.
I was actually waiting for a flag to come out where Schwabe couldn't get her arm out there. I was wondering if she might be held back, but
no, she was just getting pushed.
Yeah.
This offensive line has had a remarkable game.
Yeah, they had her locked up, but
as Bush comes to the sideline, Clarissa Smith comes in. Bush, another player that got injured early in the season, a big defensive playmaker for them. Hasn't looked 100% for a lot of the year after an early season knee injury. 1st and 10 for Eldridge and the Rage. Eldridge 5 rushing touchdowns here today. Gets this one, and it's fumbled by Rucker. She's just going to have to fall on it. They're going to rule an incomplete pass.
I was just going to say that. It kind of borderline a forward or backward pass, but they called it forward, and I think that's right.
The Phoenix will now have a 2nd and 10 defensively.
All right, let's see if Phoenix can get a stop here. They need it. Well,
another incomplete pass. It'll bring up 3rd and 10.
They were setting up a screen there, wide receiver screen.
The big thing is you've got to force them to punt here.
Yeah.
3rd and 10, you got to force an incompletion or get a stop at the line of scrimmage if they choose to run it. Rucker is the running back to the right of Eldridge. Trips to the left, including a receiver no one is out there on. And Eldridge, another great read. She's going to have the first down and more.
Yeah.
Well over 100 yards here today as she picks up another first down.
That's another perfect read. She's feeling it, but she's up. Oh, it wasn't her. That was someone else. Okay.
Rucker and Moran head to the sideline. I don't know if Courtney Eldridge's family is watching today, but complete shout out to her with how she has played here today.
Yep, tip of the hat. Jeez.
Already an impressive year. Had, I believe, 16 total touchdowns in 5 games coming in, and has scored another 6 here today. 1st and 10, they'll hand this one off on the right side for Stevens, and it is Shannon Christensen. She said, I've had enough. Drops through a back for a loss of 1.
Good tackle. Shannon's something else to watch, too, because she's a skinny little thing. And, boy, she can hit, and she can just rip down tackles, you know. It's great.
Multiple-time All-American and is the all-time leading receiver for the Phoenix. As we mentioned, she holds the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Kira Fisk may have passed one of those numbers here this season, as this one is almost
Ooh,
intercepted, and they're going to say, I see that one I
Incomplete.
think was behind.
now, real close. I'd again say it was forward, but not by much.
Third
just
and
such a-
11. I'm keeping the quarterback spy on this play.
Yeah, it's just such a strange pass. But it's kind of a pitch out, you know. But one-armed like that,
That one looked backwards. The
yeah.
Phoenix, I believe, were on top of that ball, too.
yeah, I think Phoenix would have gotten the possession if it had been ruled backwards. Third down.
Wilmer alone on the
See
far
what they can
side
do.
of the field.
Well, let's see passing. And, oh no.
Yeah, I saw Bledsoe that she was breaking out wide open, found a hole in that zone defense, and a absolute monster play.
Sorry, camera didn't move right for me. Someone, I think it was Shot, was dialed in on it, and if she had just gone for it all the way, but I think she was afraid of hitting the receiver and causing interference, but she kind of pulled up at the last minute, and the receiver caught it.
The Rage are knocking on the door. Let's make some noise for Stop Iowa Phoenix.
The Phoenix trying to get a stop here, 1st and 10 from the 15. Eldridge keeps it again. And, you know, I'll tell you this much. If there is a high school quarterback looking out there of the best way to run a read option, I would be watching film on Courtney Eldridge.
She's doing an outstanding job of it. Well, she hasn't used her eligibility. She should be scouted for going to play for a college football team, you know?
2nd and 7. Hand this one off to Stevens on the left
Oh,
side.
She's got some room. Good tackle.
Shot on the stop. But it'll be another 1st down for Oklahoma.
Where'd Shot come from? She's just lighting it up today.
Shot with 6 catches for 62 yards on the offense. The passing attack has become non-existent, though, for Iowa. They got 25 yards on the ground on the last drive for Crystal Peterson, as it is now 1st and goal. And Eldridge
There's the power.
again.
Yeah.
What a game. Courtney Eldridge, have yourself a day.
She sees an opening, she goes for it.
6 rushing touchdowns on the game.
Now that's a stat. And you called it. If her family's at home, you should be real proud if they're watching. And we're going to go for 2 again.
Eldridge follows her blocks, gets 2 more.
She's hard to stop. She reads the line very well, finds the right hole. She got the blocker. She's hard to stop.
8:18 remaining. The Phoenix will get the ball back. And at this point, while this game is out of reach at this point,
Yeah, it is.
you still want to try and put up points because it could come down to point differential
Yep.
for the playoffs this year.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about in the way the stadium is. The point differential does come into play for potential playoff seeding, and so yeah, you got to keep putting points up and keep marching that ball. And what's good is, you know, we've seen it with a lot of teams. They don't give up. You know, they keep playing it. They play till the final whistle and, you know, put their hearts fully into it. And that's why we enjoy covering Phoenix.
Number 24, Kira Fisk, and number 7, Tiffany Shot. Back to
Walmer comes out to kick this one away. It'll be taken by Fisk from the 39. Get a return of about 7 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Phoenix at their own 46-yard line.
All right, let's see what they can do now.
And I am trying to get this ball to Shannon Christensen. I don't know if the team is aware of it, but I've told JT Trevelyan that they are very close for Shannon to break that record.
She's on the sideline, so hopefully she's been communicating it.
1 catch for 5 yards, I believe, and that is if my math is correct today. But right now, Shannon, 5 catches for 70 yards in the first half, no catches here in the second half. Came in 75 yards shy of Britt Peterson's 2021 record of 420 on the season.
Yeah, if there's someone that deserves a record like that, Shannon has earned it.
It'll be 2nd and 10 after another incomplete pass. .809 remaining here in the game. Score 54-22 in favor of the Rage. Want to thank fans from both fan bases tuning in for today's game. It's been a great day of WFA football. And we'll see which way this penalty will go. It looked like it was a jump. Nope, they are going to give it as a false start.
Yeah, it's always tough. The defense can move. Some levels, they will call it on them if they jump across the line and make an offensive player move. But most of the time, if your offensive player moves, that's it. You're getting a penalty. So that cost them.
And that is going to be back-to-back penalties.
What is happening? Don't have the wheels come off.
I'll make it now 2nd and 20 after back-to-back false starts.
Well, let's see what they can do now. Keep fighting for it.
As this one's a handoff, and it is going to go backwards. Loss of 3 on the play.
Very similar to what we were seeing early in the game. Go to Christensen.
7:35 left in the game.
And, you know, the Phoenix don't really have a good punting game. Is it worth it to kick it away, or do you use that extra down and just keep fighting for it?
At this point, I think you just keep going for it as
Well, they picked up quite a few yards there, but
after being 4th and 23 or 3rd and 23, it'll be 4th down now. Gain of 8 on that carry.
I think about 15.
Mm-hmm. They complete it out to Shot. Gets past the line of scrimmage, but is going to be well short. Picks up 5 yards. And that will be a turnover on downs with 6:29 left.
Well, they fought. Got some yards. Again, the penalties really hurt them. That's a tough thing.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Rage with under 6.5 minutes left.
Let's make some noise for Iowa.
As the Phoenix trying to get one stop and get their offense back out there before the end of this game.
I'd expect a running game coming at us.
Eldridge drops back.
But a passing game.
And Shot able to get in there and knock that pass away.
She's all over the field today.
A great game for Tiffany Schott. Scored her first career touchdown earlier on a 9-yard catch into the end zone.
And that's the kind of play that we saw on the last series. Is she broke on the ball and she pulled up before hitting the receiver, and the receiver managed to catch the ball. And that's when here she just stayed with it.
Pause momentarily to reset the ball here, it looks like. As I had to get it inside of the hash mark. And this one out to Rucker.
Yeah, late handoff. But
Mikulek couldn't get the tackle. Steps through another one, but Shot comes up with the stop. It'll be another 1st down for Oklahoma. Another scorer will make it a running clock.
that's going to leave Shannon hanging out there.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Under 6 minutes remaining here in the contest. Phoenix looking for a turnover. Has Shot. Excuse me, that is Stevens on the carry.
Nice run.
That'll pick up 9.
Zigzagged her way through that defense. Yeah, Oklahoma's been just doing a lot right. A good, strong team. And Phoenix has put up a great fight. Uh-oh.
As Eldridge pushes forward. 1st down and more, under 5 minutes left. As with 4:30 remaining in the game, the Rage continue to push up front.
And, you know, they may need the points themselves for playoff seeding. Never know. Yeah, when you're at the last game of the season, there's a lot of different things playing.
Manning gets the stop, gain of 4. Phoenix looking on to see if their offense will get one more possession. Eldridge rolls over, fakes the pass, and she's going to go in. What a game, and a truck on that one.
Who got trucked on that? Wow.
I think it was Shot.
I was wondering.
Eldridge, as the Rage come into town and drop 60 on the Phoenix.
Wow. Was not expecting that for today. And credit to Oklahoma. They're a strong team. There's a reason they were undefeated coming in. see what they do with the 2. Oh, they're going to throw it. And
Bledsoe on the catch. Eldridge came in with 7 rushing touchdowns on the season. She has 7 today.
there's a lot of people out there going to be shaking their heads when they start seeing these stats.
She has 14 rushing touchdowns on the season. Oh, and she's also thrown for over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 2 picks. I think we know who our first-team All-American is going to be.
There you go. I was just going there. I would certainly hope so with numbers like that.
And I don't know if it's just one or if they do 2 first teams because they play in the All-American game. If they do multiple first-team All-Americans, but I would definitely say Grace Francis is going to be up there as well. 15 total touchdowns for her on the year, over 1,000 passing yards.
It would be awesome if she gets recognition. That would be, it'd be great. There's a lot of players on the field today that have earned their way to get that recognition there. Yeah, this is a good Phoenix team this year. They've played outstanding.
And if I'm any team, the Phoenix are able to make the playoffs, I do not want to see this team.
Right.
As Fisk gets a good return here into opposing territory.
Yeah, she did.
And I will take over right at midfield.
Well, got over 3 minutes left. Hopefully they know to pass to Christensen and get her those yards. And keep that ball moving. And this is not a team that will just hang their head in defeat.
Looking for Christensen. She's got it!
There it is. And a big play.
Shannon Christensen breaks Britt Peterson's record. Picks up the first down in the process as well. And the big thing, too, they went to set up that screen, and we saw Christensen fake the block and slip out.
Yep.
And it was a good ball fake.
Well, really good play. Well designed, well executed. Do it again. Uh-oh.
Play is blown dead. It'll be a timeout called on the other side with 2:34 left.
Yeah.
So a timeout called by the Rage. We'll step away and be right back. Out of the timeout, it is 1st and 10 for the Phoenix. Going to complete this one over to Schott. It'll be a loss of 3.
Yeah, they got on that one quick.
Clock rolls down to 2:20 remaining on the game.
Grace Francis has thrown for over 1,000 yards this season and broken the Iowa Phoenix franchise passing season's record.
as it was just announced in stadium that Grace Francis eclipsed 1,000 yards on the season.
Might need to run over there and run down the list for them. Start calling them all. And looks like a timeout.
Timeout, 2-minute warning.
Oh, there we go. I wonder if JT is sending it up to the booth.
I don't know, as they just announced Crystal Peterson and Shannon Christensen's stats as well. As a record-breaking season for the Phoenix, hoping that it does not come to an end here today. Either way, it has been a remarkable year for Iowa. We'll take a break and be back with the conclusion of this game right after this. Second and 13 after the 2-minute warning. Francis dropping back. Looking to go deep, has Fisk. Kira Fisk comes back for the ball. That one goes for, I believe, 25.
What a great play by Kira.
And that is the reason you take the drops, because she has that big play potential.
Yep.
Showed it last week. This one goes for 25 yards. Biggest play of the day in the passing game for the Phoenix.
Nice cut back. Underthrown. At the last minute, she came back to it.
Francis pump fakes, goes the other way, looking for Fisk again. Knocked away. Good defense played.
Yeah, I think defense was just too tight on her. She couldn't pull it in.
I'll make it 2nd and 10.
I think Fisk is tired.
Now up to 58 yards receiving on the game.
Do you want to share the Fisk story out?
So we met Kira a couple years ago. I believe it was last year with our work with Norwalk Sports. She is a recent graduate of Carlisle High School, multi-sport athlete there, believed cross-country and basketball. When we were reading the roster this year, the name sounded very familiar as this one delivered across. Cut! And Shannon Christensen into the end zone.
Right. Pad them stats. Now, hopefully, for sure, she's got the record.
That one for 13 yards.
Outstanding.
As Shannon Christensen over 400 yards for the first time in her career, now in sole possession of the franchise record for receiving yards in a season.
So after the play, you can finish your Fisk story.
As the Phoenix will go for 2. Hand off to Peterson. And she will not. Oh, she was able to extend the last second and get it. As the Phoenix, even in a blowout loss, have dropped 30 on the Oklahoma Rage.
Hey, they gave up 6 in, what, 6 games?
5.
5 games. And give up 30 today. That's awesome. Good job by the Phoenix. Keep your head in it. Play it out. All right, let's finish this Fisk story, because it's great.
So when we got the opportunity to see the roster, we knew the name looked familiar. And talking with JT Trevelyan, one of the owners, she explained that she was a senior at Carlisle and that she played basketball. And it finally immediately clicked for me that we have gotten, I think, 3 times over the last 2 years called. She was a huge player off the bench for the Carlisle Wildcats over the last couple of years.
And she looked real familiar, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
5'10", was a big post player for them, and huge hustle athlete for them, great rebounder, and came up with a lot of hustle plays and points
Yep.
for them in the last couple of seasons.
And then she had her birthday on the first game, turned 18, which made her eligible to play.
And ended up getting hurt in that game, had to leave.
But
and
she
then,
had a great first half.
and since then has really established herself as another weapon for this team, second on the team and top 4 in receiving yards coming in.
Yeah, I hope she's able to keep on playing.
Signed with the National Guard and recently graduated, as this is going to be a big return on the far side by Rose with 1:07 remaining. A flag does fly.
Yeah. It's got to be a bad block, hold, something. Let's see what they think. Yep, that was a hold on the run back.
Any glare? Turn that light on.
It doesn't look bad.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
everybody watching from home, hope you don't see anything either.
Yeah. I think it's high enough for us that it's not bad. A little bit of motion there, but
It'll be holding, and that'll bring it all the way back to the Rage 35-yard line.
hey,
But-
wait. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, what a great way to close out this game as the Phoenix have continued to fight.
Yep.
And the Rage, they are going to be a tough team to deal with as another screen is set
Screen.
up. A penalty flag flies again.
Yeah, there's a couple flags out now. I would have to believe there's linemen downfield. That's one of them.
Or potentially holding.
Yep, that could be another.
And once again, a huge thank you to everyone who's tuned in for this game, as well as all of the Iowa Phoenix games, our 4th game of the season, all 3 home games, as well as their trip to Cedar Rapids last week. It has been a phenomenal season offensively for the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's been great.
And this game excluded, they've been one of the best defenses in Division III as well.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun this year. It's been some great games, and these players are just they're so fun to be around. They're great.
They're waving off the flag, at least on one of them. And I believe it is an illegal man downfield. Well, woman in this case.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no, I believe it's an illegal block, so it might be clipping or
yeah.
I can't remember what the other term is. Chop block?
Yeah, that is another potential, I guess.
So instead, it will be 1st and 25. 55 seconds remaining as the clock is rolling. Eldridge drops back to pass.
Another screen.
Sets this one up.
Oh, but it was dropped.
Yep, and that will stop the clock with 44 seconds remaining.
So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, to finish my thought that being around these players, they're just great people, and they're so fun. I ran into a few of them at breakfast this morning, out at my favorite diner, and
I will not call IHOP a diner.
well, you know,
You can barely call Denny's a diner.
I didn't want to name it because it would be like an advertisement. Okay, well, you know, we're gonna. So, okay, this morning at IHOP, I ran into a few of the players there, and we chatted for a bit, and it's just so fun, you know. And the great thing, there's one word that's always used with this team amongst the players, and it's family. They're a big family, and we love being a part of the family. It's been a pleasure covering them. We make all the effort we can to catch as many games as we can. We've got a busy schedule, but they're just a great bunch of ladies out there, giving it their all to I don't want to use the term hobby, but a passion they have that go out there and play football, knock heads, and not get paid for it, at a adult level. That's given a lot.
Timeout was called on the play by the Rage, I believe. That is their second to last one.
That's right.
It
And
is 3rd and 9.
the last thought on it too is an example of family is one of our star players out there is married with 4 kids, and yet somehow, I don't know how, they're young kids, and she manages to fit football in, which is really a tip of the hat to her.
Pass caught by Bledsoe, enough for a first down, and the clock will continue to run. Turner on the stop, and it looks like the Rage will one more play,
Yeah,
where we
good try
call
to-
this one an evening.
Yep, they did get one off.
Eldridge steps into this one, and it will be picked off.
Oh, there you go. I think it might be Fisk. We'll see.
Nope, it is
No.
Crystal Peterson.
Oh, Crystal gets one. All right.
3rd interception on the year for Peterson. And that will do it in this one. Final score, a dominant win for the Rage, 62-30, but Iowa put out every single thing they could in an attempt to try and come away with a victory. They finished the regular season 4-2. Oklahoma moves to 6-0. They've clinched their spot in the playoffs, and now it will come down to, I believe, seeding and the point differential and scoring.
Yeah, we'll see what happens for the Phoenix. We won't know for a day or so. We just hope it plays out right.
The Phoenix 4-2 at the end of the regular season, as it is another very strong performance offensively for them with another 30-piece. It is the 3rd time this year they've put up 30, and this one coming against one of the best defenses in the country.
Yeah, and put up 30 in a losing cause. That's really something.
I'm doing some quick math.
And okay, I was hoping they'd do it here too. This is the great part of this, is these teams come together and talk with each other, shake hands, hug, and really enjoy each other's company. It's great sportsmanship, and we see it at the end of pretty much every game. So yeah, we have a lot of fun covering it, and I every chance I get, I try to promote them. In fact, at breakfast, there's an older couple in the booth by me, and I shouldn't call them older. They're not much older than me, but they were kind of looking curious when the players and I were talking. And so I explained what was going on, and I hope they've tuned in. I hope you're out there watching. I told you it'd be fun. It's good football. It really is. And the first thing I always got to explain to people when I talk about women's football, they're like, do they wear pads? They tackle each other? Yeah. No gimmicks. This is real football. So we like that. And if this is your first time, I hope you're back with us more, because it's something that's growing, and I hope it continues to grow. And we've got 3 levels. WFA is consists of 3 levels. The top level is pro, and they are paid to play. And I mean, those are 80-player teams sometimes.
Yeah, the Vixen are
Vixen
huge
up in
programs.
Minneapolis, which the Phoenix used to play. And then they go to Division II, and then these teams are Division III, and so they're basically amateur level, you know. But
just want to give final stats for
how'd you end
today.
up?
even with that stretch of 10 straight incomplete passes, a great bounce back for Grace Francis. Completed her last 5, including the touchdown to Shannon Christensen to give her 14th TD of the year, a program record. Francis, 23 of 49, 214 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Had a couple carries for, I believe, a total of 7 yards. A very quiet game for Crystal Peterson, 9 rushes for 33 yards, 1 catch for -3 yards, but did score a touchdown on the ground. Shannon Christensen, a huge first half, 5 catches for 70 yards. Followed that up, breaking Britt Peterson's record with 2 catches for 25 yards and a touchdown, giving her 7 for 95 and the score. A slightly quiet game overall for Kira Fisk, 6 catches for 58 yards. But I believe with that performance, she moves into 3rd place all time in receiving yards in a season, or at least very close.
Pretty good for a rookie.
Yep, she had 58 yards, had 304 coming in, 362. That is good for 4th most ever, and also finishes the regular season with 8 touchdown catches, which is also a program record, and was #1 in the country coming into today. Tiffany Schott, the breakout performance, 7 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
She should get a game ball.
Crystal Peterson also had the interception and the final play of the game. And I'll put a post out later today congratulating the Phoenix on this season. 4-2. It's their first winning record since, I believe, 2022, when they went 4-3 after losing to the OKC Lady Force in the playoffs. But it has been a very strong season for them. Over 1,000 yards on the year for Grace Francis. She now sits at 1,134, 14 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. 2 rushing touchdowns for her on the season as well. Crystal Peterson, with her 33 yards today, is at 775 with 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns breaks her own record. She had already broken her rushing yards record. Kira Fisk, already mentioned, 4th place all time with 362 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns. Shannon Christensen, her 4th catch in the end zone, and with her 95 yards, moves up to 440, breaking Britt Peterson's single-season record. And she's already the #1 franchise all-time. Same with Crystal Peterson, owns the all-time rushing record as well. And I think after this season, Grace is either near the top or tops in terms of passing touchdowns and passing yards.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me with the year that she's had.
Because I believe Chris G was only the starter for 2 years, 21 and 22, and she had a total of 14. She went 8 touchdowns, 3 picks, and 6 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Okay.
So 14 and 11, and then the next year was Jazzy in 2023, and then last year and this year has been Grace. So it has been a record-breaking year. We'll sum all that up in our post, so make sure to stay tuned to Facebook. But the Iowa Phoenix, it has been great getting covered. We don't know what the playoffs hold. Yep. If it is a home game, we will definitely have coverage. On the road, it's really going to depend where it ends up. So either way, we want to thank everyone for tuning in today and all season with the Phoenix. And congratulations to the Rage on finishing out undefeated regular season. It has been phenomenal to get to see them.
Really great game by them. Class organization, great players.
One of the most ridiculous games I've seen for any sport ever at any level from Courtney Eldridge. 8 total touchdowns today, 1 passing and 7 rushing, giving her now 10 passing touchdowns and 14 rushing touchdowns.
Again, I said earlier, college recruiters, at Division II, Division III, hey, go get this girl and get her on your team if she's eligible. That girl can play some ball.
So as it stands, the Phoenix await to see what happens playoff-wise, but what a year for them, 4-2. That'll do it for us here on Pardon My French Media. I want to thank everyone from both fan bases for tuning in here today.
And a shout out for tomorrow morning.
Yep, we will have I-80 women's hockey coverage.
Yep, championship game at 10 a.m.
I believe I saw it is going to be between OMHL or OMWL or something.
Yeah.
And Kansas City.
Yep, that's what it was looking like this afternoon, based on the wins and stuff like that, the points they accumulated.
Both teams going 3-0, so that game.
OW is Omaha team. So, yeah, it's Omaha and Kansas City tomorrow morning.
All right, so make sure to tune in for coverage of that. But for now, for my broadcast partner and producer, Gary French, I'm Tyler French. Signing off here on Pardon My French Media. The Rage come in, win this one, 62-30 final score. That is all from us here on Pardon My French Media. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.